And karma is when you are without senses. You put your foot in the wrong place, you are imbalanced, your mind is not thinking correctly, you burn yourself, you get in a crash. All these things happen, and those are karmic processes that have to do with karma that's pulling you away from the moment. Past life karma that you didn't take care of. And it's constantly coming at you because the karma is going to come and get you when you don't expect it. It's not going to mess up you doing what you're doing on an average day. It's going to mess up when it comes down to you're making a life and death decision. So the key thing to this is, as I've been trying to say over the years, is that every day is a holy day. And that it gives us, each day gives us a vast opportunity to experience change, and maturity and development, and not going downhill and getting older every day and falling off ladders and having terrible events and all those things. Those things happen, But if you turn your dharma correctly, and you're patient, and you live in the right lifestyle, you have an enormous opportunity to experience dharma rather than karma. And karma is when you are without senses. You put your foot in the wrong place, you are imbalanced, your mind is not thinking correctly, you burn yourself, you get in a crash. All these things happen, and those are karmic processes that have to do with karma that's pulling you away from the moment. Past life karma that you didn't take care of. And it's constantly coming at you, constantly, because you are always alive, you're always here, and unless you're taking the time to deal with every single day, to wipe away needless, wasted time you put into things, because the karma is going to come and get you when you don't expect it. It's not going to mess up you doing what you're doing on an average day. It's going to mess up when it comes down to you're making a life and death decision. And your ability to love someone or care for someone or do the right thing. When it comes down to true harmlessness, having your merit, having your level of discipleship show itself. If you don't take care of it and do all the right things, then when it comes to that moment, you'll find that you don't have it, and that you're lacking, and that you're much more pessimistic, rather than optimistic. You're much more fault-finding rather than finding a way, And all these things, you got to work on every single day without even knowing what they are. You got to work on it, making sure you're not wasting your time. You're learning. You must learn, And you have to really learn that you're a great person. You wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be sitting in this situation, you wouldn't be trying, if you haven't got an enormous amount of loving aspiration and kindness and caring and all these great characteristics that follow a disciple, are the things of a disciple. So you got to really 100% get rid of any fault-finding processes you have in yourself, because they will instinctually come out on other people as judgments on them. You'll do it. You won't have a reason, you won't have a why. It'll just happen, and you'll feel confused, and you'll feel you wish you hadn't acted like that, you wish you hadn't said that, you wish you hadn't had those experiences, and you can only get rid of them in the present moment. And it has nothing to do with that process. It has to do with you honestly being a soulful person 24/7. 24/7. Every opportunity you get, you never do what you're doing, whatever you're doing. You never, ever do it feeling that you're doing it because you have to. Or you're doing it because no one else will do it. Those are not like good feelings, if they're there, deal with them properly. Calm yourself down. Take an essence. Do something to get that shit out of your head, because whatever you're doing, it's kindness. Yeah? You should enjoy that. Your act of kindness is something that's better than having cake. Yeah? An act of kindness is that way. It's just like other things you get that you really appreciate and like, and you think, oh, I love that, but those are bad things. You don't want to be feeding yourself crap in order to justify you're a good person. Yeah? You want to be doing and getting good things back by doing good things, and then in that moment, that's when you get that justification. That's when you get that sense of gratification. It changes everything toward perverted sex. When your relationship to unrequited love, has everything to do with not having these things put in place properly, because the love that's unrequited is your love to you. Yeah? Your self-love. Your self-realization, your self-actualization. All of that is the fact that you are loving, and you can't be loving to other people and be not loving to yourself, because the truth is you're not loving to other people too. And you can't see it because you're already covered up. Your senses. Yeah. It's important that you get what I have to give you. Yeah. Which is your senses, your chakras, your development as a soul, your development as a disciple, and take it in, the reality that, oh my God, I am a disciple. I am a disciple, and I'll never fall out of being a disciple. I'll always be a disciple, and Christ will always be here. Christ will always understand. As long as I continue listening to the pujas, dealing with the etheric group, trying to be my better self at all times, you'll always receive blessings. And things will cleanse faster than you can ever imagine. Because that's what I do. Yeah? I change the options behind time. Yeah? And those options you don't even think about. It's the master who's doing that. He's so far ahead of everything, more than you can ever imagine. Because there's no ill feelings in the sense of doing this for you. No ill feelings in the sense of being on a cross and doing that for you, and understanding that doing this is for an outcome, It's not about, oh, I love my mom and I hate to see her in this pain and suffering and all that. I really don't care. That's really where I'm at in that, but I am sitting there in the process, but I am doing this in order to make her a better person, not that she makes me anything. But she can't get this. No one can get this. The disciples can't get this. The Romans can't get this. No one can get this. Yeah, and that's what's important, is that this is provided. It's not a choice. You don't have a choice. It's going to happen to you. And if you don't accept this as a real reality, false prophets will tell you differently. And I'm the only one who's going to tell you, you have to accept it, because you don't have a choice. It'll only get worse. It'll only get worse. Yeah? So your process of rapture, your process of bliss, your process of peace, your process of understanding, your process of sense that you can cooperate and love other people and feel that they love you and that you really are a good person, to have those senses of yourself is self-actualization and self-realization. And you get that from the Yogi Christ. You get that. Yeah? Okay. Enjoy.